Welcome in, everybody. Today I have Dr. Whiting here to discuss metabolic set points, something you never even heard of. I know a lot of people haven't, so we're going to dive into the subject of metabolic set points today, kind of like a 101 of understanding what metabolic set points are and how you can use them to your advantage in your weight loss and in your overall life. So the first thing is, you've been into weight management for as long as I've known you. What is the most confusing thing about metabolic set points? And, well, first, what is a metabolic set point?
Well, the funny thing is that I think one of the biggest reasons why this is a significant stumbling block is because nobody's teaching anybody about it.
Yeah.
I can't think of one major weight loss company that is teaching people about set point. And I think that that's so important because it is the set point that is responsible for the majority of dietary failure. And in order to understand what a set point is, we have to go back into the early antiquity of the human race. And the human body is one of the most adaptable creations that ever was.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for this adaptability, the species, the human race, probably would have gone extinct a very, very long time ago. But because the body can adapt to environmental changes, more recently to toxins, we're all talking about adaptability. Well, our ancestors, most of them lived in northern climates. And because of that, food supply was rare several months out of the year.
Yeah.
There was no refrigeration. There was no way of preserving food. They didn't even understand salt preservation in those days. And so the body had to figure out a way not to starve to death, not to simply die. And we talked in an earlier video about starvation hormones, and those played a vital role in preventing the extinction of the human race, because starvation hormones slowed the metabolism down so they could survive the winter, basically. Well, the set point is related to that. So let me tell you a little bit about how the body adapts in a way that we probably don't really want it to. So let's say that you want to lose 30 pounds, okay? And let's say you've been this 30 pounds overweight for some time, maybe a year, 2 years, maybe longer. Well, over that length of time, since you've been overweight that much, that long, the body then accepts the fact that that is quote unquote normal. Oh, that's just the way we are. And so it accepts that. Now you decide you're going to go on a weight loss program, whichever one it is, however it is, and you drop 20 of those 30 pounds. The body's going to see that as a form of starvation, even though you're still technically 10 pounds over your ideal weight. But the body doesn't realize that. It has now accepted the 30 pounds as normal. So when you lose 20 of those 30 pounds,
it thinks you're starving.
The body thinks you're starving, and it's going to start conserving energy, secreting starvation hormones, and so forth.
And then a diet plateau.
And then ultimately will be the dietary plateau, because the body is afraid that it's starving to death.
Got it.
And if it doesn't do something pretty darn quick, it's going to die.
Yeah.
And so hand in hand, the set point is something that we can adjust, but it's something that first and foremost you need to understand, because once you understand that, your frustration with weight loss and hopefully doing a diet program incorrectly will become more obvious.
So why does it, I mean, I guess you kind of just answered it. It exists for the
survival of the
adaptation
species.
And survival of the species. So how can we utilize a metabolic set point for weight loss? How does the person that wants to lose 30 pounds or 50 pounds or however many pounds, how do they use it to their advantage rather than get frustrated when that kicks in and the plateau happens and they go, well, I was doing so good, I lost the 20 pounds, but now I still, for some reason, I'm stuck at the 10-pound place.
Yeah. Well, we can use your experience, which we've talked about before.
Oh, yeah.
At one point in time, you woke up and found yourself about 60 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, we got that weight off in about 8 or 10 months, I think, something like that.
Yep, 8 or 9 months.
Yeah. Now, I could have taken that 60 pounds off of you probably in 4 months.
Yeah. But I didn't really want to do that.
The problem would have been, and this is the point I'm going to bring up now, your chances of regaining that lost weight would have been 10 times greater.
Got it.
When you lose weight too fast, your body sees that as starvation and demise.
So now that's why it's been easy for me to maintain 175 pounds for the last 8 years. I've maintained 175 because we created my new metabolic set point at 175.
Absolutely.
Therefore,
that's right.
I was able to use that against my own metabolism.
Yes, because we did it slow enough.
Yeah.
We did it cautiously enough. We did it the right way.
Now, I'm carb intolerant. Does that also work for calorie sensitive people?
It works for everybody.
It works for everybody.
Everybody has a set point.
Okay.
Now, how do you know if your present body weight is your set point?
How do you know?
How do you know?
Well, you don't know because you just said if you're 30 pounds overweight, your body thinks that your set point.
That's right. So if you want to know if your present weight, whatever it is, you're 40 pounds overweight or whatever, if your body sees that as a set point, ask yourself, how long have you been at this body weight? Okay. If you've been at this body weight for a year or longer, your body has now accepted that as the new set point.
So when I was at 240 pounds, my body accepted it because I know I was at least 240 pounds for a year.
Yes, so that was your new set point.
So, well, obviously I changed my set point.
Exactly.
So you can change your set point.
You can indeed.
All right, so you're going to tell us how to change your set point.
Yes.
Okay.
The best way to understand how to do that is slow and easy, slow and go.
Got it.
If you try to rush your weight loss, the chances of you regaining that weight when you go off your diet are 10 times greater. And that's because the body sees a rapid weight loss as a crisis.
Oh, okay.
We're in a heck of a mess.
Yeah.
And if this lasts another 3 or 4 months, I'm going to be dead.
Yeah.
And so it starts to change your whole metabolic chemistry. Switching from set point mode to starvation mode to crisis mode. And then things happen. Starvation hormones are produced, and because the body's hanging on to what it thinks is now normal.
Yeah.
So the way we do that is we drop the weight slowly. So your body has a chance to get used to it.
Yeah.
To say, okay, this is not, I'm not going to lose these 40 pounds overnight, so I don't have to sound the 5-alarm fire and change the whole chemistry in order to survive. I can take it easy.
So my new set point at 175 is permanent for me. unless
Unless
I
you
go
do
and mess it
something
up.
to change it, right?
And unless I go and mess it up continuously,
correct.
Then it's gonna. I'm messing with the sugar and all that, and then it would lead to possibly me changing my set point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about the benefits of it.
Okay.
All right. So you're at 175, right?
Yeah.
That's your set point because you've been there for years.
Yeah. At least 7 years.
So you can go out and you can eat double the calories you normally do.
Yep.
You can go out and have
But if I do that, I can only do that once or twice a week.
Right.
If I continue that,
Then you
I
start
just don't really feel really good.
But if you continued it for any length of time, you'd start to gain weight again.
Yeah.
But what happens is that because your body now sees 175 as the normal set point, it's going to fight metabolically to keep you there.
Oh, okay.
So even if you're indiscreet with your diet, the body is just going to deal with it. It's going to accelerate your metabolism to burn off that extra intake. Because it's going to fight to keep your set point because that's its comfort zone.
Okay.
So that's the upside. Once we get a new set point established, it'll actually work in your favor.
Got it.
And so when we talk about diet indiscretions or cheating or whatever, which we'll talk about a bit later, you can actually get away with more abuse once you've established a new set point. Because just
so it's kind of like a reward almost.
Yes, just like the body will fight to keep you 40 pounds overweight because it got used to it, it's going to fight to keep you at your new healthy weight once it becomes a set point.
And so everyone has a metabolic set point, whether you're calorie sensitive or carb intolerant.
Yep. And whether it's ideal or whether it's too much or too little.
Whether it's you're still gonna have a metabolic set point. Yep. And then I think one of the main questions people are gonna wonder when they watch this video are, what about the people who can't exercise? Because there are so many people who are overweight and they, for whatever reason, a physical or a health reason of why they're not allowed to go hit the treadmill 5 times, or even a time reason these days, even those people that can exercise have a metabolic set point and can't exercise have a metabolic set point. Everyone does.
Everybody does.
And so learning about it and learning how to manipulate it will lead you to a place, if you continue to do it right, of a permanent set point of 175.
Actually lose weight without exercise.
Got it.
I mean, we're not saying that exercise isn't healthy.
Of course,
it obviously is. But we're talking
there are some
just
people who
about
can't.
weight loss right now.
Yeah.
We have worked at our institute with people who were in exactly that same position. They could not exercise for a wide variety of reasons, physical disabilities, whatever. And we were still able to lower their body weight and create a new set point. It just took a little longer.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the benefit of caloric burn. But it can still be done.
Wow.
Now, one thing we haven't talked about, because it doesn't occur very often, but it might be worth a 60-second mention. What about people who are underweight?
Okay.
What about people who can't gain weight no matter what they do?
Yeah.
And, I have a friend who has a son who has got a few problems, and he's 6'1" and 110 pounds.
Well, he needs to start eating pizza and donuts.
No. Pizza and donuts are going to increase his metabolism even further.
Oh, okay.
He needs to go on a moderately low-fat diet because fat burns fat, and we don't want to burn any more. And he's going to want to raise his set point from 110 pounds to 150.
Got it.
So the way we're going to do that is slowly increase his quality caloric intake.
Got it.
Whole grains, proteins. They make these wonderful weight gain shakes you can get in health food stores.
Yeah, I've seen them.
You slam one of those down and it's 2,000 calories already. Well, that's what we have to do. But again, we have to do it slowly because the body sees that underweight figure as normal. And every time that person is going to gain weight, when they stop doing what they're doing to gain the weight, body's going to go back down again. Because we have to keep the body at the new healthy set point for at least 6 months to a year.
Got it.
And once we do that,
and then that makes it permanent.
That makes it permanent, and your body will fight to keep it there, no matter what you do to it.
Fascinating.